Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 15th. I don't even know. Again, sometimes we lose count. I don't know which episode this is, but
You got it, Reese. 15.
yeah, see, I got it. Thanks. That was a fan in the background. See, that was just some guy in the background. But yeah, we got just a little bit of BCIHL action. Only two games, but the implications of these two games are huge, and that's why we got
Yes.
a lot of content to go through. But before we go into that, how are you doing, Matt?
Hey, Reese. Good to see you. Hey, in the corners, people out there, friends and fans, all appreciators of Arbor Jacki,
Yes.
etc. Last episode was the one with the spaceship sounds.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
tonight we're dialed in. We got some good games, and you know who's around the corner? SFU. So
Yes.
we're getting ready to face up to our fears here. Put me in. I'm ready to go right to the net.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're gonna go through all the tough areas for this one and in the
Yes.
broadcast booth. Maybe not on the ice, but on the broadcast booth for sure.
Yes.
So
Everything I got coming at you.
oh yeah, it's coming. So on January 21st, SFU faced off against the Lakers. Now, we had a little bit of, I'd say excitement and a little bit of, curiosity with how the outcome of this was going to come out because we thought the Lakers are a strong team. They got good depth. Could they? I mean, every time you see SFU play another team in their barn, you wonder, can they overcome them? Can they use the home crowd to overcome this unbelievable SFU team? But not this time. It was 4-0. It was an easy W, I'd say. What do you think? Do you think this was an easy one, or do you? I mean, based on the scoreline, it seemed a little easy. But was there more competitiveness that you could see in there?
Couple things I noticed here. SFU 1 for 7 on the power play. So the Lakers, they took a lot of penalties. They were doing that in the showcase. Easy for me to say. You got to catch up to the SFU players.
Right.
So it's probably going to take some penalties there.
Yeah.
Remember in the last show, too, I said to watch out for SFU's goaltending. Well, here's Kale Dolan, checking us before we wreck us. 80,
Yep.
20, no, 28 saves, shutout.
82. Holy, that'd be a record.
That would be a Matthew Ends there.
All right.
No, Kale Dolan shuts the door on the Lakers. Lakers 0 for 4 on the power play. Pretty close game, though. You put a goal or two in on the power play, it could change things.
Yep.
Jade Thompson, 36 saves for the Lakers. So what do you think of that, Reese?
Pretty good. Pretty good outcome, I'd say. And the reason why I'm saying pretty good is just based on how SFU's been playing.
Yeah.
You got to try your best. I mean, they're a wagon. There's no other way to put it. They're,
right.
What are they, 12-1? What are they? What is this? Hold on, let me check. Yeah, 12-1 in 13 games. I mean, that, of course, in 13 games. God,
Lakers are on a bit of a slide, too, now.
No,
like the Lakers have lost a couple to Victoria. They can't quite get over the hump against the Mariner guys. Now the Lakers, it's gut check time for them. SFU, VIU, Vikes, all coming up right in a row for them. So they want to get in the win column here, but
yeah, absolutely
didn't happen this weekend, as they say in the business.
Yep, and that power play SFU coming back again, shutting them out. Only 4 power plays on the game, but 0 for 4 on the PP. So no shock there. And that SFU defense holding down. A lot of two-way forwards too. A lot of guys who are capable. So, and that's been proven to be clear all season. Or what do you think? Do you think they're just simply better? Do they, in all categories? Is that what's going on? Because I think if we're gonna go a little bit deep into the season here, there's a lot of matchups with the Vikes for finally this Vikes team who we're not even gonna get to that game yet, but they've been great as of late. They've been great the last few weeks. They're going to match up with this SFU team very soon, and wow, this is the big red dinosaur in the room, which is SFU and the Vikes. The Vikes, they're one of the hotter teams now in the BCIHL in this new year, going 4-1-1. Yes.
If you take out those SFU games from earlier in the season, the Vikes are 7-2-1. It's because they're looking good against the Mariners. They're 3-1-1 versus the Mariners. They're starting to heat up against the Lakers. Are the Vikes the ones this week who look like they're the best contender for SFU? We're going to find that out in February, big time, because it's SFU time for the Vikes.
Yep, absolutely. 2 games in the SFU barn, and then one home game all the way in March. So, yeah, definitely interesting times. It's going to be a real test. Obviously, the Vikes are next going to match up with Logan Lake for a couple of games, but after that, they're following that up with the number one team in the league. They go from the bottom to the top in a couple weeks. So, yeah,
We're gonna have to pick one of those SFU games, go over and fire up the Cadillac, fill it full of Tim Hortons
drop top
bags,
We'll let
and just
it rain all in it.
Just Timbits. Instead of the just married sign, it's just Timbits falling out of the door when I open it.
Yes.
That's how I roll, basically.
That's how
I got a sweet tooth. What can I say? But there's that Monday game at in the afternoon, which
right.
I am eyeing up.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Monday, early week. What's that going to be like? What's the feeling of that game?
Just brutal action.
Brutal action on a Monday. Yeah, but we can't hold on to it, or we can't restrict the people from the biggest news of the week, which is the win to make it 3-1-1 against the Mariners for the Vikes. It's a 5-2 win in regulation. Absolutely beautiful game. Drapeau with 32 saves, Kroll with 25, and there was an empty net goal in there. What do you have on that game? Let's go through it, Matt.
Well, the first thing to consider here is Drapeau. He's got the number of the Mariners.
Yes.
He's got the goal pads. He's got the attitude. He has got the defiance to beat VIU big time. 30 here. Check out these. Reese, let me hit you up with a riddle.
All right.
34, 42, 39, 32. That equals 147. You know what that is?
What is that?
That's the saves by Drapeau against the Mariners this year. He loves playing them.
Yeah.
Mariners do not like Drapeau. He's got their number.
A little bit.
Drapeau's a net and wins the game 5-2.
Oh, you gotta love it. So
just one deep insight from over here.
Absolutely. That's all we got here.
Awesome goaltending. Now they got Pilon and Drapeau going.
And that's, you like to have that depth. It's going to be great going into the playoffs, depending on the matchup, right? You can make two decisions there just based on the season. So you love to see it. But we're going to go through this period by period because this is a good game to follow for us Vikes fan. We are, after all, the UVic hockey broadcast team.
We can't help it.
We can't help it. We do love the BCIHL, but, our job here is to build up the hype for this team that deserves a lot of hype, especially this season. So let's go into it.
Yeah.
First period at 6:02, or was it 6:02? That 6 minutes and 2 seconds that's elapsed. What is it? Is that?
I can never figure this out. I think some teams do it differently.
All right. Well, one of the
when I was a dishwasher, the chef said, "You're never going to make it in this business, Matt, because you can't make the plate look the same. You can't make the plate look the same twice.
Yeah.
Like if you order a hamburger or a salad,
right,
or a dessert,
yes,
I couldn't make it look the same twice in a row.
Okay,
that's what we're getting into here with these time signatures.
I see time signatures. Here in the food industry. Stratton Pickett.
Yes,
he gets his fifth. It's assisted by Finn Withy. You love to see that. What do you think about that?
Withy just stole the puck from a guy, and Pickett scored again. He's on a roll.
Stick.
Yep.
You gotta love to see that defensive stick all over the ice. So that's just a great start. Obviously, they come off to a lead in the Mariners' barn. Bring that momentum into it. And what was that? What was that period like? Was there a lot of shots in that period?
It was the NANAIMO barn.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, there's a lot of shots. Keep in mind in this game, there's no Dunlop, okay, for VIU.
Wow. Okay, hold on. I didn't know that. That's a big deal. What happened? Do we know what's going on?
No, I didn't figure it out. I watched the game a bit on Saturday, and I watched it just before taping this.
Wow.
They were playing Caleb Franklin most of the night with Palmer and Jones.
Okay.
I just bring that up because Dunlop's usually good for 10 shots on goal himself, right?
Right.
So they were missing him, but the Mariners were there. Drapeau was making saves. Braun rung one off the post pretty sweetly.
Ooh,
Echoed through the North Island.
wow.
Ping, 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 ping.
Yep. Everybody heard it. I mean, I
Yeah.
probably did.
Yeah, you probably did. It's like when someone
Yeah.
talks to you or steps over your tombstone or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
How about that second period, Reese?
Oh man, that second period was just nothing but Vikes, Vikes, Vikes. And the reason why I said that 3 times is they get 3 goals and they only let 1 in. And that oh, I know I'm lying to you. It's 2 goals. God damn. It's a horrible start. But anyhow, yeah, so it's an Aiden Morrison goal. All right. Love to hear that. That's a strong defenseman for the Vikes. We loved it. We hear his name all the time when we're doing the broadcast because the guy's on the puck a lot. He's good at moving it out, and I don't see him making a lot of mistakes. That's not a guy where I can, I catch myself seeing like, oh, a little misread there. No, not with Morrison.
Nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Aiden. First goal of the year.
Huge.
You deserve it. Good job.
Assisted by Stratton Pickett, so that's 2 points on the night for Stratton. You love to see it. And my guy, Matthew Hermary. I know this guy, that those points are going to come flooding in because he's going to get involved on a lot of offense just with how hard he works. You know what I mean? He's all over the ice, so you're going to see him in all types of situations and hopefully more offensive ones as the days come. So after that, Braun finally gets his goal because, like you said, he rings one off the crossbar, heard by everyone on the island. And it's assisted by his, former teammate and current teammate, Logan Spears, line mate too, of course, and Connor Nolan. So you love to see that. That's another huge goal for the Vikes. That makes it 3-0. And then just before the period ends, momentum does a little bit of a switch, and Brady Daniels gets one. And that's assisted. Is that by his brother? Do we know if that's his brother or are they just?
I heard it was. I heard it is.
Well,
right at the end of the period, hey, off a face-off.
Oh, okay. I see.
So,
right off that. See, that's that quick skill and technical ability that this VIU team has. And not to say that they've underperformed against the Vikes, but Vikes have just played really well. That's all I can say. I don't even think it's anything on them. I mean, I'm sure when they watch the games, they can see a million mistakes that they wouldn't make on another week. But to me, I just think the Vikes have kind of, like you said, had their number a little bit. Well, I guess you said Drew Poe had their number, but,
yes,
it seems like the Vikes do too. But moving on to the third, any comments about the second that you want to point out? Anything interesting?
Not really. Just a late goal. That's kind of like when you're at a traffic light.
Okay.
And you're kind of sleepy a little bit and someone honks the horn.
All right.
That really is scary because you look up and then it's green.
Yeah.
So then you must go.
Good point. Yeah.
Thank you, Reese.
Scary. I definitely get that one because it brings a little bit of fear. You go, okay, well, you don't want to break down. You don't want to come into this third and then quick, boom, boom, it's tied, right?
Yeah.
They say 2-goal leads, one of the hardest leads to maintain. But guess what? The Vikes didn't allow for any of that suspicion because Logan Spears makes it 4-1, which you love to see. Again, like I said, these freshman kids are the top producers for this team going forward for years and right now as well. So once these playoffs come, teams better watch out for these type of players. You know what I mean? These freshmen who had great seasons in their previous leagues, they're going to be coming flying in this league. So you love to see that.
Those 3 players are in the top 10 in BCIHL scoring.
I mean,
so
numbers don't lie, people do. So, Logan Spears he gets his 8th on the season. That's assisted by his line mate Braun. So they kind of do each other a favor there. And Connor Nolan gets involved again. I mean, look at that line. That line is just shining. But the Mariners, they get one right after that. I think it's not too long after that. That's Carson Gerhardt. He's a good player. He's a good guy.
He's tall on his skates.
Yes.
That happened twice in this game, though, Reese. The Vikes would score and the Mariners scored right back. So I was joking around about the stoplight. But you got maybe something for the Vikes to take a look at.
Yes.
These guys are coming back right away and popping them in on you. So
yeah, they don't go.
It happens.
They don't go missing. They don't. phase away as when the going gets tough. They'll still put up a fight, which is again something every team in the BCIHL should look out for the playoffs, right? Because as much as we are praising the Vikes for playing really well, this Mariners team has a lot of potential and a lot of firepower, a lot of matchup toughness for these other teams in the BCIHL, no doubt. But that Earhart goal is assisted by Cherwalk. So again, another guy that we tend to hear his name a lot on the broadcast, guy who's all over the puck. And obviously to end it off, there's that empty net goal, which makes it 5-2. That's Blake Bentham. So you're happy to see that guy get a nice goal, gets his second on the season. And yeah, 5-2 win for the Vikes.
Yep, the Vikes this season, they played 5 games against the Mariners. They got 7 points out of 10 possible to get. Really strong win for the Vikes, a huge win. They the Mariners beat them pretty good in that showcase.
Yeah.
That was the night where Dunlop put up all those points. But when you look at the season in total versus the Mariners, the Vikes are really hanging in there. They look like the team to beat this week.
Yep. And that's can we complain? Absolutely not. We love to see it. But obviously, before we even get there to that point where they're going to match up against the best, where we truly, in my opinion, that's where you get to see how well they're going to match up to the rest. Because if this team's beating everybody, well, if you beat the team that beats everybody, it gives you a little bit of confidence no matter what, even though, maybe 9 times out of 10 they'll beat you otherwise. But get them that one time. I mean, that one win could become in the playoffs, right? And that's when it matters the most. So, yeah, we get Logan Lake in the matchup for the next one. So hopefully the Vikes can get a win there. And obviously, hopefully Logan Lake can, put up a good fight, give us a good game.
Yes, for sure. Logan Lake's coming down here too. That's our next home game. Is that right, Reese?
That's right. February 10th, I think. Or 20. I don't know. Hold on. Let's be sure. Let's be sure for the people. The next home game. No. Oh, yeah. No, that is correct. Yes, February 10th. I got it the first time. So that'll be 7:30 at the E&H Stewart Complex. Definitely come out for that one. It'll be a good time. We'll be back in the broadcast booth since the showcase. So,
yeah. Well, at different points in the season, at the start, the Okanagan Lakers, they kind of looked like the cream of the crop because they started really fast, right? They won all those games against Logan Lake. Yep. They pushed SFU to overtime last semester. They jumped out ahead of VIU even.
Yep.
Then kind of in the middle of this chunk, it was the Mariners' time. They swept the showcase. They're handling the Lakers pretty good. They're 1-1 versus SFU.
Yep.
So then I thought, the Mariners are for sure. They're the contender against SFU. Now I'm leaning towards the Vikes. The Vikes have handled VIU well, and they're playing well against the Lakers. That's what we're talking about here. Are the Vikes the top contender in the BCIHL right now? Have they kind of pushed VIU to the side? Drapeau certainly has their number, like we talked about. So if I would have a bean fate to give here, you've got to hand it to Drapeau for his solid play versus VIU.
Yes, absolutely. And then you obviously have Blake Pilon playing great in the
yes.
Defense. So you love to see the depth there. And then you obviously got your youth in development like Charles Curiston. So you love to see that. And obviously Drapeau, he's earned some unbelievable W's for this team. And you're going to need that going forward. Again, like I've been reiterating every week, you got to just further your chances to beat the big juggernaut, which is SFU. There's no other team to point out in this league that has a domination like that. So knowing that, everything else is close. So win the battles that you can and, kind of prove to the league that it's not going to be, a wash once the playoffs come.
Yeah, they got the goaltending going, like you said. Teams with skaters with 10 points or more. You get what I'm saying? 10 points or more. SFU has 10 skaters with 10 points or more. It's a lot, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, UVic is next in line with 6. They have 6 skaters with 10 points now. And Stratton Pickett, for example, who's been one of the best Vikes players in the last month, he's got 8 points. That gives you a little bit of an idea of the depth of UVic. They're for real. Like the Lakers, for example, have 3 skaters with 10 points. The Vikes have double that. So they've been kind of in the bottom of the standings this season, but because of their winning trajectory the last month and a half, they're rocketing up there. The Mariners haven't won the BCIHL championship yet. They're really hungry to do that, right? Because they got Dunlop and they got the vets.
Right. Good point.
But and then the Vikes, something we've been talking about them a lot is the freshman line.
Yeah.
But the Vikes have some epic veterans as well. Stratton Pickett against the Lakers, he got 2 goals. That same game, I'm talking about the one in the showcase, January 6th. That same game, DeGo had 4 assists, including the primary assist on the overtime winner. Dustin DeGo is a Vikes player that I could see developing as like the motivation for the team to rally around him and win the whole thing. He's been in the league for 100 games now. Everyone's celebrating that. We've got to say a big bean fate to him for that.
Absolutely.
And he's got the team on his shoulders a little bit. So what I'm saying is, yeah, the Mariners have those older players that want to win, but not so fast. The Vikes got that motivation too. They want it too. Look, see, they're showing you it.
Exactly.
Yeah, what do you think of that analysis, Reese?
Oh, no, it's great. I'm just looking at the top 10 of scorers here in the BCIHL, and it's really nice to see the Vikes get on that offensive push. They have such good scoring depth now, and you can see it spread throughout the lineup. It truly is a breath of fresh air since last year. And obviously, no disrespect to the players we lost last year. That is not the point at all. But the point is you just like to see this team progress in the way that they are. So I'm just super excited for these games to come. I know Matt is too, and I know all the Vikes and BCIHL fans are for the next couple of weeks. All the bean fates that we can give out. Well, I'm sure it'll be even more once the season progresses. And by the way, if you're wondering what that is, you got to go back to a couple past episodes.
Yeah.
Up
that just occurred to me. No one knows what that is.
Yes.
It is a town in Saskatchewan.
That's true.
But you got to brush up.
You have to. It's your duty.
You got to get in the corners after all.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been the 15th episode. We kind of try to keep it brief, even though it really wasn't, because I know we're going to look at the time here, and it's going to be like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, something like that. So we like to keep a lot of your time, but you will invest some of your time into this league because you know of the talent and the great personnel and support that's within the community that is the great community that is the BCIHL and obviously the Vikes Hockey Club. So you love to see it and you love to see more. So obviously tune in to next week's episode. We're going to go over some more BCIHL action. And yeah, anything left to leave them with there, Matt?
Well, good luck to all the players. There's a bit of a break here. Remember, 2017, that was the last UVic championship. SFU is back for more. VIU wants it. We're going to see the Lakers too. Don't forget about them. One more game. Congrats to Dustin DeGo. 100 games played in the league.
Congrats.
Keep an eye on the Vikes, how they're going right now. And 3 coming up against SFU. Maybe a deep dive SFU show, Reese.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't talked about them too much, but I think it's time to pull back the curtain on the Redleafs.
Absolutely.
You like that?
Oh, I love it. It's super exciting times in the BCIHL, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, we'll see you again in a week, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching.
Take care.
And have a good one.